I forgot to send one email. My older sister humiliated and fired me in front of everyone over it. Holy shit. I, 19 male, have been working at my sister's 27 female tech startup company for the past 6 months. She owned the company and gave me a job to help me out while I attend university. Recently, she asked me to email a client regarding a project and I completely forgot. I was caught up with other work and it slipped my mind. I fully admit this was my mistake. The next day at work, she lashed out at me in front of the entire team. I get that I messed up, but the way she handled it really upset me. She could have pulled me aside and spoken to me privately, but instead, she chose to humiliate me in front of everyone. I was angry in the moment and ended up raising my voice too, which I know I shouldn't have done. This isn't just about work. Since we were kids, she's always acted like she has authority over me just because she's older. I've tried talking to our parents about what happened, but they've taken her side as usual. She's incredibly successful and graduated from Stanford, runs a company, and is financially well off.
Period.
It feels like no matter what the situation is, they always support her. After I told my parents my sister fired me from the job, I've apologized to her multiple times since then, but she won't even acknowledge it. I know I made a mistake, but I also feel like she didn't handle it well either. That job was really helping me pay my university fees, and now I'm left in a tough spot financially and emotionally. Any advice on how to fix things with my sister? I don't want our relationship to stay like this. Damn, B.
God. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Okay, first of all, plain simple, you don't scream at your boss. You don't scream at your boss. Second of all, plain simple, you shouldn't have contacted your family for that shit. Because this was a work-related thing. You should have handled it professionally. But professionally speaking, your sister needs to learn some lessons. As a CEO, you need to learn how to speak to your employees. Because that mistake could have been a lot bigger. And that mistake could have been multiple. And instead, it was one mistake and it wasn't the biggest. And she handled it by screaming at you in front of everyone. As a CEO, she's learning the hard lesson that you don't talk to people that way. But because you're her little brother, she stepped on you in front of everyone, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But you going to your family was not a good idea.
Yeah.
What I recommend is stop looking for her. Stop seeking her. You already apologized once. Have some self-respect.
Yeah.
Let it go and don't work for her. Because of the dynamic that you have, that you're discussing, you've always had, it is not a good idea for you to work for her. Especially because she's not a CEO yet.
Yeah,
she might have a company, she might be starting, but her mindset, her skills are not CEO level yet. So take it easy, find a job somewhere else to pay your fees and all that stuff, somewhere where it's not family related, and let your sister learn that the way she handled it was not okay. Because at the end of the day, the more you ask for forgiveness, the less she sees how she fucked up in this situation. And yeah, you have to apologize for what you did. You already did, but don't try to make things right. You already did what you needed to do. Move on, get a job somewhere else, because she's gonna keep doing it to you. There's obviously a dynamic here from home that you guys have not broken out of, that you're working for her as a 19-year-old university student and her as a building CEO who doesn't have all the skill set yet, that it's not gonna mix well. So
It's authority, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that we could also think about like considering maybe he has been doing it for a very long time and he hasn't said it.
But he said it though. I forgot to send one email, which means he's never done this before. And he even explained that it was a mistake as a result of him being very busy, not because like, I don't give a shit, I'm not doing it. He made a rookie mistake as a student who's just starting, and she lashed out like that in front of everyone, which is not a good idea because she's the one in the leadership position.
Can't be yelling at people in front.
Girl, the way that everyone in that office looks at her now is we got to hide our mistakes. We got to support each other and hide our mistakes because this is how she acts. One thing is for someone to make a mistake, and another thing is for someone to really try to F you over at work. He wasn't trying to do that. He generally just made a mistake.
All right. No, because sometimes with siblings, you know, they end up doing like a lot of things beforehand, and then, you know, they lash out.
Yeah.
You know, because
he's trying, and the fact that he's being excessively apologetic, in my opinion, it shows that for the, since they were little, she obviously has had a really nice upper hand over him.
Yeah.
And he's getting older, he's not putting up, and that's probably why he screamed at her, because she handled that unprofessionally, pulled him aside, talked to your employees, not your brother, your employees, privately over any matter. Learn how to do that. Otherwise, your company's gonna collapse. Because it's not all just, I have the skills, I can develop this, I can develop. No, where are your leadership skills? That's where it's at.
Yeah. Yeah. Handle it professionally. But we're going to go ahead and read what the comments said. Off Krita said, "Are you angry that your sister yelled at you for your fuck up or that your literal boss yelled at you? Seems to be the former. You say that since we were kids, which is irrelevant here. She acted like she had authority over you, but you don't think she has authority over you as your literal boss. Did you expect her to go easy on you because you're her younger brother, because you're family? You overstepped in the workplace by yelling at your supervisor. Your superior, which she was, but you also ran to your parents to complain about professional situations, which is immature and unprofessional. You're mixing things up in a way that's very unhelpful." Well, I think that here he was trying to get advice, because there are siblings in the dynamic they hold. So I think that that's the mechanism he's been using for a very long time. He maybe wasn't having somebody else to like talk these things through.
That makes sense, B. Yeah. Because he's only 19.
Yeah.
And when I was a teenager, any job, any issue that I had at work, I would be asking my parents. So it would make sense that he would reach out to his parents.
He's young, like he's still trying to figure things out. You acting like this commenter is acting like he's supposed to know everything and how to do it and everything. No.
Yeah, that's true. That's the other side of it, that he's young. He's not a man. He's a child. Well, not a child, but he's a teenager. And usually, teenagers ask for advice to parents.
Yeah, exactly. And then they said, for the future, lose the attitude, lose ignorance, and don't work for family or friends. Well, he was trying to get his feet together and his family's there to support him. So I don't think that he, maybe now he'll know, but, he wasn't.
He's young. You're learning lessons here. And not every family dynamic is meant for working together. There are some family dynamics that it works for them. But in this case, it didn't work out. It doesn't work out. He's learning that.
OP responded saying, "I agree, I acted immaturely, but I'm not denying that. But I genuinely feel bad when she lashed out in front of everyone. I don't have the right to talk back to her. Everything else just happened in the heat of the moment. The reason I felt bad is that the email was supposed to be a project process update to the client. It wasn't something really important, but it is my responsibility to send those weekly updates. Honestly, at this point, I don't care whether she hires me or not. I'm going to try to work somewhere else. The only thing I care about is whether she forgives me." So you see here, he's like really trying to have this relationship with her, and like there's always that like dynamic of like her being more like authority and like
the more he begs her though,
looking down and looking up at her kind of thing.
Yeah. The more he begs her though, that's the problem.
Yeah.
The more he begs her,
it's more like an ego.
The based on the way that she's acting, or it could just be that she needs space. Stop asking for forgiveness, leave her the hell alone, and go build your life, build yourself. Because at the end of the day, she's gonna have to understand that you're a teenager. This is your first time working. Yeah. If she can't understand that, then she needs to get over herself.
Yeah, maybe
if there's some egotistical drive or what, like, you represent me here and so on, or she'll get over it and realize he is a teenager who's evolving.
Yeah.
She'll get over it, but begging and constantly no, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, and I think with separation too, I think the dynamic will be better. Space definitely makes things better. Yeah. And as she's still starting off, so you don't know a lot of things as a upcoming boss. Like you have so many things on your plate as an entrepreneur. You have,
you're handling too much. It's a lot of fear, a lot of pressure.
And that's what probably happened here. But next thing she knows, like handle things professionally. But things like that. Maybe because it was her brother. She was like, okay, like I can lash on somebody, like somebody will dump this on.
Separating things at the moment might have not been in her mind.
She needed maybe that type of I don't know, emotional.
It could definitely be fear of failure too, because she has a lot going on. It's a startup, and it might have not come out from the right place. It might have just come out from that fear. And that's why she probably screamed at him. It could be so many things, but it's a strong possibility that she's intimidated and she's on like fight or flight mode or something. Her company progressing. Disappointing a client when you're a big company that's already made is like over something so small like this, like a progress report on a project. They can get past it because you have a good record, you have a strong record, you can make up for it by delivering an incredible project. But disappointing a client when you're a startup, that could be a lot bigger to someone because it can play a role in usually startup companies. The thing with that is that any review, any suggestion, any recommendations from a client, that can backfire if it's not top notch at that point. You have to walk very careful. So I understand the pressure of it.
Yeah. Well, let us know what you guys think. Have you been in some situation like this where, you know, your boss had like lashed on you over something like very small? In professional workplaces.
Or working for family. How did it go? Did it go well? Did it go south? What about... Did it go bad? Did it go south? And could you recover from it and go back to working together? Or was it? What happened? Give us the details. For tomorrow's episode, Wild and Trending, no sex trend is breaking couples. Let's see. Let's cover this whole no sex thing.
Oh, what do we feel about that? Would you be able to handle a relationship without that? Without nibbling?
I'll say it right now. Nope.
Without nibbling to your wife's...
Either I get it or you leave. I'm kidding. Anyway, let us know.
I can leave. Bye.
Hello, V.
Hello.
Hello.